Hello everyone, welcome to another SQL Server tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a table and also how to set a foreign key. In the previous session, we have seen how to create a table using the graphical way, and also we have seen how to set a primary key. So if you have not seen that video, I would strongly suggest to watch that before proceeding with this video. Alright, in the previous video, we have created a table, TBL employee, and we have also created a primary key for the ID column in the TBL employee table, and also we have seen how to insert records in the table. So these are the records that we have inserted in the previous session. So now in this session we are going to create a table using a query, and the table that we are going to create will be the profession table. If you can see here, we have the profession IDs. So let's create a table from where we can get the professions. Okay, so let's take a new query. Now to create a table, we follow the same format that we followed while creating database. So the keyword that we used while creating a database was create database followed by the database name. So similarly, for creating a table, we use create table followed by the name of the table. So let's name it as TBL profession. Then within the parenthesis, we define the columns. So let's say we have two columns. One will be the ID column and the other will be the profession column. Okay. Now let's define the data type. So ID would be integer and it should not accept any null value, and it will be the primary key. Okay. And profession will be nvarchar, limit will be 50 characters, and it should also not accept any null values. Okay. Now if I execute it, it will create a table, but before that, if you see here, the database is master database, so we need to change it to testdb so that the table is going to be created in testdb. The other way to do that, instead of selecting from the dropdown, you can write the query, use the name of the database, it's testdb, then go. So if I execute these two statements, this name of the database will be changed. Now if I click on execute, the database has been changed. Now I can run the query to create a table. Okay, so table is now created. If I refresh the tables folder, I can see the table TBL profession. Now let's enter some records in that. So right click and go to edit top 200 rows. So let's insert some records. Let's name it as detective 102. We'll name it as reporter 103. Let's give it as scientist. Okay. So these are the three values that we are using as of now. Let's compare the records of both the tables. So this is the TBL employee table records. Now this was generated graphically. So if you want to write a query to view all the records, the query would be select star from followed by the name of the table. Okay. So let's remove these things. Okay. If I execute it, again check whether the database is correct or not. So these are the 4 records. Similarly, let's see all the records from the TBL profession table. Alright. So if I go ahead and execute this, okay. So if you can see, we have the profession ID. So this profession ID should be taken from this profession table. So if any value is not present in the profession table, those values should not be accepted in the profession ID column. Okay, so to do that, we define this profession ID column as the foreign key. So when we set this profession ID as the foreign key, only those values which are existing in the profession table, only those values will be accepted here. Okay, and the advantage of doing this I'll show you. Now if I go to employee table and if I enter a new record, let's say 5 and name will be Arthur @AQU, and now if I say 99 or maybe 999, it is accepting. So the database integrity is lost here. The user is able to enter any value or any character. Okay, so to disable this kind of drawback, what we do is we define a foreign key. So let's keep it as null for the time being. Okay, and if I execute it, okay, so we have 5 records. Now we'll set this profession ID column as the foreign key. Okay, so to do that, right click on the TBL employee table and go to the design, right click on the profession ID, then go to relationships, click on add. Here you can see tables and column specifications. So click here and click on the ellipsis button. So here you can define the foreign key relationship. Okay, so the primary key table would be the TBL profession table, and the ID column will be the primary key column. Then the foreign key table is going to be the TBL employee table, and the profession ID is going to be the foreign key column. Okay, if I click OK, this is going to create a foreign key. So this is how you create a foreign key graphically. So I'll click cancel. We are going to do it using a query. Okay, so let's take a new query window. I have a query here. Let me paste it. So this is going to be the format: alter table followed by the table which you're going to alter. So it will be the foreign key table. That is going to be TBL employee, because the column from TBL employee is going to be set as the foreign key. Okay, then add constraint. So a foreign key is one kind of constraint. Similarly, primary key also another constraint. Okay, so let's define the name of the constraint. FK, this is the format that we are going to follow when we are going to create the foreign key constraint. FK will represent foreign key followed by the table of the foreign key. So foreign key table is TBL employee. So let's name it as TBL employee. Then foreign key column, the profession ID column is going to be the foreign key column. Okay, then we have foreign key column. So let's name it profession ID, and it references which primary key table and the primary key column. So it is going to be referring TBL profession. So let's name the table as TBL profession. Then the primary key column is going to be the ID column from TBL profession table. Okay, now if I go ahead and execute it, command completed successfully. So to view that, expand the TBL employee table and go to keys. You can see we have foreign key TBL employee profession ID. Okay, so this is how you create a foreign key. So now that we have created the foreign key, let's see the advantage of it. Now if I go and again try to enter the record, let's edit here. If I write 99, see, it's throwing me an error. So it's telling that it conflicted with the foreign key constraint that we have created. Okay, so now the database integrity is maintained. Now instead of that, if I give it as 101 or 102, it is accepting. Okay, so now our data is correct. So this is the advantage of using a foreign key. So in this video we have seen how to create a table using a query. And one more thing is that it is not necessary to remember this particular query to create a foreign key. We just need to make sure that we understand the concept. If you Google it, you will get it in 2 seconds. Okay. So we have seen how to create a table using query, and also we have seen how to create the foreign key using both the graphical way and also using a query. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.